In the college, physical copies are available. All the 3 books that we wanted to give, you can go and collect if somebody is not collected. Okay, did I discuss doubts up to 60 here?
No, sir, till 30.
Till 30
Till
only?
40. No, sir, till 40.
40,
Till
okay,
40.
yeah. All right. 41 to 43, anybody any doubts? (41 to 43). No.
No, sir.
Up to 46.
No, sir.
Okay. Up to 49. Up to 51. Up to 54. Nothing. Okay. Total how many are there? Okay, 99 are there. How many of you tried all the 99? Okay. Up to 56. Anybody any doubt? Up to 60? No. All right. So by tomorrow, till what question you can try?
99 we can try.
You can try, sir. 99.
Okay. So please try to complete by tomorrow, and then after that start doing 3D geometry also.
Okay, sir.
We'll go to
Sir,
advanced
what about
materials.
advanced? Yes.
Okay. Right now I'll start vector algebra advanced, and then we'll discuss 3D geometry advanced. Okay.
Yes, sir.
To be frank, 3D geometry, especially in advanced, there's not much. Whatever is in the main, same thing only asked in a more than one answer way or a numerical way or something like that. Vector algebra, there can be some questions sometimes. I'm just looking for this advanced material. Let me share. Just a minute, I'm just checking how many questions are there and how much we can do. This material we planned for to doing enough days, or people can solve a lot of questions, but right now I'm not able to complete. Just please. Okay, without wasting time, I think I can just start with more than one answer questions and we can discuss them. Yeah. Okay. Now, all right. I'll try to complete all the more than one answer questions here, and you can try other questions. Okay. If after finishing 3D geometry means also, if you have time. All right. Okay. Very first question here. R bar equal to, they gave some equation of a line where t is a parameter in a parametrical vectorial equation of line, which is the following point. Okay. They gave options and they're asking which point lies. It is not a Cartesian equation, just simply we can substitute x value, y value, z value. You can't take and substitute also. Otherwise, you have to equate ijk coefficients. Or you can convert it to 3D and do it. Okay. Very first question here, it is given R bar is equal to I minus 2j plus k plus t into 2i plus j minus k. If you want to write in 3D geometry form, this is a line passing through 1 comma minus 2 comma 1 parallel to a line whose rears are 2 1 minus 1. I can write x minus 1 by 2, y plus 2 by 1, z minus 1 by minus 1. Now we can substitute the points and verify. 1 minus 2 1, 3 minus 1 1, minus 1 minus 3 2, and 2 comma minus 3 comma 1 by 2. These are the points. I can do by vectors, but this equation of line and vectors I converted to 3D and all options I converted. Which point satisfy this? When you put 1, this will be 0, this will be minus 2, this is 1. This is one of the obvious point. This is correct. When I put 3, this will become 1. When I put minus 1, it is 1. When I put 1, it is 0. So this is not okay. Because here we should have 0. Minus 1, minus 3. When I put minus 1, this is minus 1. This is also minus 1. That is also minus 1. So this is fine, satisfying. When I put 2, this is 1 by 2. This is also 1 by 2. That is also 1 by 2. This is correct. So except this, these are satisfying. You want to do by vectors also, you can check. Just knowing that how a point satisfies equation of a line in vectors. That's all, nothing great. Okay, so there's not much to say. Let me read the second question in the meantime. Let ABCD be 4 points in 3-dimensional space. Which of the following are true? Line segment joining the midpoints of opposite sides of quadrilateral ABCD bisect. If only the quadrilateral is planar and the line segments and the midpoints of opposite quadrilateral bisect, even if the quadrilateral is not planar and okay. Okay, the second question is basically what they are saying is take 4 points in space. This is A, B, C, D. Okay. They may form a quadrilateral in a plane. What do you mean by they are non-coplanar also? Is that, let us say I'll move this B little up. Then ABC will be in one plane and ADC will be in another plane. Still, should we call that as quadrilateral? Okay. Yes, maybe it's quadrilateral in space, but it's not a planar quadrilateral. Okay. If all ABCD are in one plane, it's called planar quadrilateral. We may very well know that if I take the midpoints of this and join these two and join these two, okay. And in fact, if you join all these midpoints is a parallelogram. Original one is a quadrilateral, but what you by joining what you get is a parallelogram. Do you know that, right?
sir.
Yes. I'm sure in school level you have something that this is parallel to this diagonal and off of it. This is also parallel to this diagonal and off of it. So opposite sides are parallel and equal, means it is a parallelogram. All right. So is it true in the space? If you take also, will these four will be in one plane? Yes. Whether ABC will be in one plane or not doesn't matter. These four midpoints will be in one plane only, and they will bisect each other. The line joining the midpoint. Why? This is A plus B by 2, and this is B plus C by 2, and this is C plus D by 2, and this is D plus A by 2. If you take midpoint of these two or midpoint of these two, it is same, which is A plus B plus C plus D by 4. This plus this by 2 or this plus this by 2. That means you can understand these 4 points are coplanar. The line segment joining these two and the line segment joining these two, they bisect each other. So in that way, all options ABC are covered there. Whether the ABCD may form a tetrahedron, even then opposite side midpoint if you join, they bisect like this. If they are one plane, if they are in space, doesn't matter. Only the fourth point is slightly different. If you take a tetrahedron and take the fourth vertex, this is A, B, C, and this is D. You take the centroid of one face and join to opposite centroid of another face and join to this centroid of another face and join, and this okay to this. They all will be concurrent at a point. In fact, that point will be A bar plus B bar plus C bar plus D bar by 4, and it divides each one in the ratio of 1:3. We know already is a fact. If at all you want to prove it also, you can say this point is lying on this median, this median, this median, this median. It is possible to verify. You have, let us say, A bar and B bar plus C bar plus D bar by 3. The line segment is joining these two. B bar, C bar plus D bar plus A bar by 3. The line joining these two. You divide in the ratio 3:1 here, divide in the ratio 3:1. You'll get the same thing. I'm sure you can check for other two things also. 3 times this plus 1 times this by 3 plus 1. So in that way, they are concurrent. So I think in second question, we covered all the ABCD. ABC are basically one thing only. And D bit is the line segment joining each vertex to centroid or concurrent. Is it clear, second one?
Yes, sir.
Which of the following are true for vectors in three-dimensional space? Two vectors are linearly independent if and only if they are non-collinear. Yes, if they're collinear, they're dependent. If they're not collinear, they're independent. Correct. Three vectors are linearly independent depend only if they are non-coplanar. That's also correct. Four vectors are always linearly dependent. Yes. Whenever you know four vectors in the space, option C is not right.
Sir,
Do you think
using three. Sir, using three vectors, fourth one will be found, no, sir. So all
No,
will be
what if first three are in one plane and fourth one is not in that plane?
yes.
Understand that, right?
Yes, sir.
Still, we may say dependent because let us say A, B, C are in one plane and D is in not in that plane. Okay. Then we can write let's say there is a linear relation between these three because they're coplanar. Let us say I know 5B plus 3C minus 2A equal to 0. Then I can write plus 0 into D bar equal to 0 bar, right? So whenever you are able to find L, M, and P numbers such a way that it is 0 bar, but all are not simultaneously 0. One or two of them may be 0, still not a problem, right? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's sir.
Yes, please.
So 0 into A plus B equal to something means A is independent only, will say, no, means
If
like
everything is 0, everything is 0. You are saying that when 0 into A bar plus 0 into B bar plus 0 into C bar plus 0 into D bar equal to 0. Then
yeah.
S they're independent. Okay. I am talking about at least one of them non-zero. So you have to look at the definition clearly. It is not just expressing one vector in terms of the other. Because if it is 0, I can express this in terms of the others. Anyway,
Yes.
let me look at the key just for the confirmation. But And option D, if 4 points are coplanar, then their position vector also coplanar. No.
Yes and no.
See, let's say I have 4 points. I have 4 points. The points are in one plane. Maybe origin is here, A bar is like this, B bar is like this, C bar is like this, D bar is like this. The 4 rays, the 4 vectors, they are not in one plane. All right. It's not necessary. So only this third one, I have to just from the definition I have to confirm. Otherwise, we may think if 3 are coplanar, how can we express? But it's not necessary that we can be able to express every time.
Even we are not linearly dependent, then 4 are confirmed.
Yeah, if ABC are non-coplanar, then that means among ABCD, if no 3 are coplanar given to you, then yes, they're definitely dependent.
So this question like that in synopsis given. Sir.
No, no.
Given each three of the vectors are not linearly dependent. Linearly dependent.
Yeah,
They realize.
then only. That's correct. But what I'm saying is the dependency, independency doesn't have a relation to collinearity, coplanarity, nothing. You are able to find L, M, and P, 4 non-zero four numbers which are not simultaneously zero. Such
So
a
for
that you are able to
every
write
A
L
bar,
M
B bar, C bar, and D bar, we can find as a 0 into 0 into A bar plus 0 into B bar. We can find.
No, if not all zero, man. If they're all zero, then again they're independent. Maybe. Understand what I'm saying?
If any
Among
one of
L,
them is 0, sir, given. If any one of them is a 0 bar, then we can find. We can put a coefficient about this, and remaining vectors will keep zeros. Then also they are linearly dependent. Cancel.
what are you saying? Are you saying 0 into A bar plus 0 into B bar plus 0 into C bar plus some 9 into D bar? Are you saying that?
So given if D bar is 0 bar.
Null vector is coplanar with anything we can say based on this. Okay, that's okay. But by the definition, I should say 4 vectors are always linearly dependent is wrong. Sorry, it is correct because of the definition. Not because we are able to express every time 4th vector as a linear combination of the other 3. No, not because of that. Because sometimes the one of the coefficient may be 0. Is that point clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's why I have to look at the definition clearly. Okay, fourth one, let A bar, B bar, C bar be 3 non-coplanar vectors. Consider 2 lines are given. What is the point of intersection? Whether they're skew lines. They're not given in terms of ijk. Okay, they're given in terms of ABC, but box ABC is non-zero. The 2 lines lie in which plane? Okay, this is a nice question. Okay. Let me just write the 2 lines. The first line is passing through point A minus 2B plus 3C and it is parallel to vector 3A plus 2B minus C. The second line is passing through 6A minus 2B plus 4C and parallel to A minus B plus C. Okay, how to find the point of intersection? Take the general point here, general point here. If I take this plus lambda times this, the A coefficient will be 1 plus 3 lambda, B coefficient is minus 2 plus 2 lambda, and C coefficient is 3 minus lambda. The general coefficient here is 6 plus mu, A bar coefficient, the general point. If I take this plus mu times this, minus 2 minus mu. And 4 plus mu. Okay, if you solve these two, what will you get? The one equation. If you equate these to one equation, if you equate these to one equation, because this is a general point. This into A bar plus this into B bar plus this into C bar is the general point of the first line. This into A bar, this into B bar, this into C bar is the general point of the second line. And equate these two, get one equation. Equate these to one equation. Equate these to one equation. I have to find lambda and mu. Okay, 3 lambda when I equate minus mu equal to 5. Here when I equate 2 lambda plus mu is equal to 0. When I add 5 lambda equal to 1, so lambda is 1 and the mu is minus 2. Okay, so when I put that 1, my point of intersection will come 4a bar, no b bar and c bar. 4a bar plus 2c bar, no b bar. Yes. Okay, so we found the point of intersection as 4a bar plus 2c bar. That is quite simple. Option A. The two lines are skew lines. Obviously, no, if they're intersecting, how can they be skew lines? They're not. Non-intersecting, non-parallel lines. The two lines lie in a plane. Yeah. Whenever you want to know a plane equation, you should know one point. You know this point, you know this point, and this point. But they use this. You should know two parallel vectors, which are this one only, because this line is parallel to this vector, this line is parallel to this vector. So we got that, and the two lines lie in another plane based on the points, I guess. Okay. So if you look at option C and option D there, they are giving this plane. One of the answer they wrote based on, because they know 3 points on a plane, you know, 1 minus s minus t into a bar plus sb bar plus tc bar. Another one is, you know, 1 point and 2 parallel vectors, a bar plus lambda b bar plus mu c bar. Based on that, they gave another equation. So option B is not correct. They are not skew lines, but A, C, D are correct. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Fifth question. Which of the following condition imply that the two lines intersect? Okay, they're not just saying they're coplanar, they're parallel lines and all. They should intersect. Imply. Okay, so option A, when you take A, B, it's not A, B, A minus B U cross V. What is this A, B and U cross V? Option B is right, but they may be parallel. They already gave they're not parallel. Okay. Then fifth question, I can annotate also. They already gave U cross V is not 0 bar, means they are not parallel. If they are not parallel, there are only two cases: they're intersecting or they're skew. So if this so option B, if it is 0, definitely they are intersecting, because the shortest distance between them is 0. You can say, or in the figure you can see how A minus B U and okay. Normally, when this box was 0 in option B, we can say they're parallel also, but here parallel is not already there. Okay, that is one way. Another thing is, if they're really intersecting, U cross V, Y should be a linear combination of A and B. A minus B should be a linear combination of U and V. Yeah, that's good. Option D. Okay. Both are same. Maybe I can show in the figure. Okay, parallel lines is already removed in based on the question data. So if you are really to intersecting lines where this is A bar, this is parallel to U bar, this is B bar, this is parallel to V bar, and if you join these two A minus B is coplanar with U and V. They're all in one plane. If it is skew lines, they will be in different planes. If they are in one plane, their box is 0, or you can express this as a linear combination of these two, which is option D. I think B and D are the answers. Okay, sixth one, projections are equal. Okay. Sixth one, directly add the three given things in the question. This one and this one and this one. You will get the required vector. Why? Anybody want to say?
All are of one unit values.
Okay, what they gave themselves are unit vectors. Anything else? Is that sufficient?
All these are perpendicular to each other.
Yeah, perpendicular is also very, very important. Why? Let us say I have A bar and B bar, but not perpendicular. You take some vector R bar. If you find a projection of this on A and projection of this on this B, when you add them, will you get R bar back? Okay,
No.
this is R bar.
No, sir. No, sir.
No, because projection means you drop a perpendicular, this vector, here you drop a perpendicular, but the resultant of those two will be, you have to construct a parallelogram, it will be something else, not even in this direction also, okay? But if they're perpendicular, then when you take this projection, when you take, add these two, you'll get this will come, but here it is not like that, okay? So here what they gave are, may not be IJK, but they are three mutually perpendicular vectors. Okay, so they themselves are the components of the given vector. Okay, so of course, if we add them, root 3 will come. If they want unit vector, let me. Now, such that the projections are along the vectors are equal, then projections are equal. Achha. Okay, so you can directly add them, or you can take 2 times that, 3 times that. They did not say unit vector, right? You can take minus for anything also. For example, if I have three mutually perpendicular vectors, A cap plus B cap and C cap. I am looking for a vector whose components in all these directions are equal. And what is that vector can be? That can be A cap plus B cap plus C
Plus
cap,
C
K
cap.
times that. I can take minus here, minus here, minus plus or minus or 1 minus 2 plus. I can keep changing it, right?
But along the projections are along they gave, sir.
Projection includes sign or just length of projection, that also matters.
Projections are
equal.
along the vectors they gave.
Yeah, but the word, there are three things in projection. One is about vector projection.
Yes, sir.
One is about scalar projection, including the sign. One is just length of projection.
Projection means vector only we use.
Somehow there is little clarity is required for that, but it's okay. If you want to take like that, there is a unique answer. Directly add them, you will get it. Add them and any multiple of that. If I directly add, I will get cancelled. I will get root 2j plus k. Root 2j plus k. That is option D. And option C is just a divisor of that. Root 2j minus k is also acceptable if you don't take the way we take. So they should mention that. So I'm not sure what did that they give. Okay. But there is a slight ambiguity of projection. What kind of thing? Is it a vector or a scalar with sign or without sign? Okay, 7. A vector R bar is equally inclined with the vectors. Then the angle between R and A must be. This is also same. Is A and B are perpendicular vectors here? In 7th one?
Yes, sir.
And C is perpendicular to both A and B. Again, there are three mutually perpendicular vectors, right? Then it is like basically it's like asking about cube. You have three mutually perpendicular vectors and another vector is making equal angles with all of them. Then we know this angle is cos inverse 1 by 3, this is cos inverse 1 by 3, this is cos inverse 1 by 3. Right from figure, you can say that this is 1 and this is root 3. If you take theta, that right angle triangle, cos theta is 1 by root 3. Theta is cos inverse 1 by root 3. There's some slight problem
Yes.
with the video itself. So that is the angle between R bar and A bar may be cos inverse 1 by 3, not cos inverse 1 by root 3. Cos inverse 1 by 3. Now 1 by root 3, which is option C. You cannot take pi minus also because when one of the direction reverses, also you can take. Okay, 8th one. If I take any two vectors, the angle between them can be maximum pi, minimum 0. That's correct. Mod A plus B is directly 2 cos alpha by 2. We discussed in the figure only that if you take a parallelogram, if this is 1, this angle is alpha, this length is 2 cos alpha by 2. How? You can write root over 1 square plus 1 square minus 2 plus 2 into 1 into 1 into cos alpha, which will come 2 cos alpha by 2. Or directly from the figure, this is 1 and 1 means it is a rhombus now. and this is 1, this is 1, this is alpha by 2, this is alpha by 2, means this is sin alpha by 2, but this is cos alpha by 2, this is cos alpha by 2, which is 2 cos alpha by 2. So mod a cap plus b cap in this case is 2 cos alpha by 2, and they want it to be less than 1. Then cos alpha by 2 should be less than 1. Within 0 to 90, if your alpha by 2 is less than 1, alpha by 2 should belong to less than 1 by 2. It should belong to 60 to 90. 60 to 90. When I multiply it to alpha should belong to 120 to 180. You can actually visualize that. You take this is 1 unit and this is 1 unit, and then the same direction resultant is 2. As you increase the angle, it will decrease. Finally, when it is 90, still the resultant is root 2. When it is 120 degrees, the resultant will be 1. Okay. And finally, when it is 180, the resultant will be 0. Okay. So when you take 120 degrees, then the resultant will be 1. And they want to be less than 1, means from 120 up to 180. Is it all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
You may have a similar question like this in mains also. What is this ninth one? Mod A is 1, mod C is 1, mod B is 4. They know B cross C means they can find B dot C. I think just apply magnitude, will get it. Okay, most of the theory is covered only through mains exams, different mains questions, different models. Just I have to discuss some things. I'm discussing these things. So coming to ninth question, we know mod B cross C square and B dot C square is equal to mod B bar square and mod C bar square. Mod B cross C square is 15. B dot C we want to find. Mod B square is 16 and mod C square is 1. So B dot C whole square is 16 minus 15. You will get 1. Okay. So this is basically mod B mod C sin theta whole square, mod B mod C cos theta whole square. That's how we got. Now they said B minus 2C some lambda A. Apply mod. Mod B minus 2C is equal to lambda times mod A. From that you will get lambda. You have to find the magnitude. Root over mod B bar square plus 4 mod C bar square minus 4 B bar dot C bar is equal to lambda mod A. From this you can get lambda. This is mod B bar is 4. So this is 16. This is 4 into 1. 4 into B dot C is also 1. B dot C whole square is 1. B dot C can be plus or minus 1, that too. And here lambda square, I'm squaring it, and mod A square is also 1. Okay, so I'm thinking we'll get 4 values maybe. When I take plus 4, 4 will cancel. Lambda square equal to 16, lambda equal to plus or minus 4. And when it is minus 1, we'll get plus 4, 16 plus 8, 24. We'll also get lambda equal to plus or minus root of 24. Let's look at the options. Yes, I think all are correct. Plus or minus 4 here, plus or minus 24 is 2 root 6. Okay, not very complicated, very simple. Just from B cross you have to get B dot C, and then you have to simply apply mod. Is it okay, ninth one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, 10th question. Mod A plus B is greater than mod A minus B, then what is the angle between A and B? Basically, it is like asking in a parallelogram, the main diagonal length should be more than the other diagonal. In a rectangle, they're equal, so it should be less than 90. We can say that. Otherwise, mod A plus B greater than mod A minus B means basically A dot B should be positive, because when you square it, it is mod A bar square, mod B bar square, 2A bar dot B bar. This is mod A bar square plus mod B bar square minus 2A dot B. These two are same. And you bring this side, you'll get 4A bar dot B bar greater than 0. A dot B is positive, means theta should be acute. Okay, A dot B is positive means the theta, whichever it is, it should be acute. So theta should belong to 0 to 90. Equal to 90 also not okay. Open 90. And if you want to take 0 closed, usually theta should be less than 90 degrees. Okay, in a physical situation, basically I would have not taught all these things. I would just give you time for you to try in the class itself. But right now I don't know what people will be doing, so that's why I'm discussing. Otherwise, this is a time where you have to work on your own a lot than versus studying. Unless just to remind you of the formulas or some techniques only. There's one particular coplanarity and technique I have to discuss. Maybe I'll discuss in tomorrow's class. But today I want to go on with this. 11th one, let A bar, B bar, C bar are three vectors such that all of them magnitude is root 3. And this is 27. I think it must be the extreme value. We'll see why. They gave mod A bar minus B bar whole square, mod B bar minus C bar whole square, mod C bar minus whole square equal to 27. When you expand, you'll get 2 times mod A bar square, mod B bar square, mod C bar square minus A dot B minus B dot C minus C dot A equal to 27. These are all 3, 3, 3. So 3 3s are 9, 9 2s are 18. Will or 2 times 9 minus A dot B minus B dot C minus C dot A is equal to 27. So if I try to find 2 times A dot B plus B dot C plus C dot A value, that will be 18 minus 27 minus 9. With this, I can say mod A plus B plus C is 0, because now mod A bar square, mod B bar square plus mod B bar square plus 2 times A dot B plus B dot C plus C dot A. This is a 9, this is a minus 9, it will be 0. That means mod A bar plus B bar plus C bar whole square equal to 0, which means A bar plus B bar plus C bar is 0 itself, null bar. Then they're sides of a triangle, they're coplanar. Okay. But other than 27, something else, they need not be coplanar. Yeah, option A, ABs are necessarily coplanar. They represent sides of a triangle because of triangle law. What is about mod A minus B plus mod B minus C? We can find each one. Once we know A plus B plus C is 0, we know angle between, if A bar plus B bar plus C bar is 0 and they are unit vector, they are all equal magnitude. Anybody want to tell what is the angle between any two of the vectors? Anybody? Three vectors of equal magnitude, they are forming a triangle like this. This is A bar, this is B bar, this is C bar. That's why the sum is 0. Now, what is the angle between any two of these vectors?
60
degrees, sir. 60 degrees.
No.
Can you repeat the question, sir?
If A bar, B bar, C bar have same magnitude and A bar plus B bar plus C bar is 0 bar, what is the angle between any two of these vectors? Yes, angle in an equilateral triangle is 60, but angle between A and B is not 60. It is
120
120
degrees,
because
sir.
this is like this. This is like this. You have to look at the direction. Okay, so it is 120. This is the angle between the vectors, not this. Okay, now if somebody wants mod A minus B, if I use the formula, mod A bar square is 3, mod B bar square is 3 minus 2 A dot B. A dot B is root 3 into cos 120 degrees, not 60. Or you have to send see that side and apply mod, and then we can also do that way. Okay, so cos 120 is minus of 2 will cancel 3 plus 3 is 9. So that is mod A minus B whole square. So mod A minus B will be 3. Similarly, mod A B minus C is 3, mod C minus A is 3, 3 plus 3 is 9. Okay, that is option C. Mod A minus B plus B minus C plus mod C minus C is 9. If A, B, or C represent the orthogonal, no, they are not orthogonal because the angle between them is not 90. So answers are here A, B, C, but not D. Okay. Why don't all of you read the 12th question and try?